And so I saw Biggie smile like hard nigga, Brooklyn nigga, ooh, he shot you. I was like, yeah, nigga, get it. And nigga was like smiling about like oh yo. It made you realize like, yo, he's enjoying his life, man.
Do you have any memories of Biggie?
I only met him once.
Tell us about that.
Well, you know, the Locks got signed before I did. Even though I bought the Locks to our brothers, you know, they got signed. They were a safer group. You know, Puff signed them. And it was a blessing and a curse because they were sure they were happy about getting signed first, and they were on the Benjamins and shit was going. But then he made them jiggy and put them in suits and made them write lyrics for him and took all that publishing and raped them.
Wow.
Like, damn. I'm glad I didn't, you know, like, you keep that. I never saw Biggie smile until after he died.
Earl Simmons, the rapper better known as DMX, died in April 2021 at White Plains Hospital in White Plains, New York, 1 week after suffering a heart attack, but not before exposing Diddy for the devil that he is and how badly he treated the legendary Biggie Smalls. DMX's 2-decade-plus career was beset by legal troubles, tabloid headlines, and struggles with drug addiction. But he was also one of the most successful hardcore rappers to ever cross over on a mainstream stage, an artist with a huge cultural impact and influence that extended well beyond his core audience and a powerful artistic style of passionate urgency. In one of his past interviews, X opened up about meeting Biggie, an encounter he remembered with a heavy heart thanks to the confession that the hypnotized hitmaker told him. Tear to find out. Then stick around, we are just getting started.
Because they were sure they were happy about getting signed first, and they were on the Benjamins and shit was going. But then he made them jiggy and put them in suits and made them write lyrics for him and took all that publishing and raped them.
DMX's arrival in the mid-90s coincided with hip-hop's emergence as a commercialized global phenomenon. The harsh-voiced rapper provided a grimy counter-narrative to the glossy big-budget sheen of the era's most popular rap. He also revitalized the Def Jam label, inadvertently provided a blueprint for Jay-Z's own popular breakthrough, and developed a career as a charismatic film star in movies like Belly, Romeo Must Die, and Exit Wounds. Yet DMX is best remembered today for his gripping music, which matched his aggressive machismo with an emotional sincerity that resonated around the world. Aside from that, there is something else: the secret Biggie told him about how Puff Daddy, currently known as Diddy or Love, raped him. While giving in an interview ahead of the release of his 2012 album Undisputed, the rapper reminisced back to his unsigned artist days and shared a story about nearly signing a record deal with Bad Boy, but being overlooked in favor of the Locks. "You know, the Locks got signed before I did. They were a safer group," said DMX. "Puff signed them, and you know it was a blessing and a curse because they were happy they got signed and they were on the Benjamins. But then Diddy made them jiggy and put them in suits and made them write lyrics for him and took their publishing and raped them." DMX went on to explain how Damian D. Rock Butler set up a meeting between himself and Diddy, but Diddy passed on signing him because he didn't feel that DMX was a marketable artist. But as it turns out, after it became pretty obvious that Diddy had a thing for men, many critics now believe Diddy overlooked X because he didn't find him attractive enough to satisfy his sexual appetite. "The thing I respect about Puff was that he told me to my face. He said, his voice is too rough, he's not marketable. You got to respect that." In the same interview, DMX also shared his fond memories of Biggie and explained how Biggie helped him appreciate a smile. "I never saw Biggie smile until after he died. It was in the Hypnotized video," said DMX. "When I saw it, I was like, wow, he was really enjoying his life, and it got taken away from him. It was then that I cherished a smile." It was during their meeting that Biggie reportedly opened up about suffering sexual abuse at the hands of Diddy. Diddy's mistreatment of arguably one of his best artists ever has been sounded by one too many people who were close to them at the time, meaning there is definitely some truth to it. Just recently, rapper and former Bad Boy artist Mace released a new song titled Oracle 2, Standing on Bodies, and it includes blatant shots aimed at his former CEO and collaborator Sean Diddy Combs and his unfair treatment of Biggie Smalls before and after his death.
Women like Solomon, I could burn bridge, walk water like the prophets did. I could read futures like astrologists. Why I'm so clean, I'm the next thing to godliness.
Rapping atop a mid-tempo track powered by horns at 808, Mace proceeds to disparage Diddy's character, pointing to his alleged misdealings as a businessman and his perceived lack of support for artists formerly under the Bad Boy umbrella. "I'm the ghost of Shine. I speak for every artist never spoke their mind, representing every artist that was left behind. From Craig Mack to G-Dep, I still remember them kids trampled. For every producer you ever stole their sample," he raps, referencing the infamous 1991 City College incident in which 9 people were trampled at a celebrity basketball game promoted by Diddy. In the new track, Mace also reportedly accuses Diddy of exploiting the children of the late Notorious B.I.G. "I'm not hating on your Billy Worth. Right now, I'm only saying what you really work. You ain't no architect, you just who know how to market death. He raps, Biggie was at the top of the music industry when he was killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles on March 9, 1997, with his death coming just weeks before his album Life After Death was slated to be released. The public beef between his former friend and label mate Mace dates back to at least 2020. It was then that Mace took to Instagram to accuse Diddy of shady and extremely unfair business practices. The accusations came after Diddy delivered a touching speech at Clive Davis' pre-Grammy Gala, in which he claimed to now be for the artist.
Gifts work. Gifts work. He took the watch. They didn't press charges. And we best friends till this day.
Mace then said Diddy tarnished his name, but he had to put a smile on his face and continue to perform to please the public. This, in context, relates to what DMX said about Diddy's treatment of Biggie. He would mistreat you behind closed doors and expect you to smile in the eyes of the public. For example, you still got my publishing from 24 years ago in which you gave me $20,000. Which makes me never want to work with you as any artist wouldn't after you know someone is robbing you and tarnishing your name when you don't want to comply with his horrendous business model. Mace lamented, Diddy has long been accused of swindling his artists, the claim being reignited in 2021 when he penned an open letter calling out corporate America for failing to invest in black media. Even worse, the Bad Boy founder is said to demand sexual favors from all those who work on his record label, and Biggie was no exception. A short time after being called out by Mace, the Bad Boy CEO was criticized by Q Parker of R&B group 112. Q Parker said he not only had the same contract as Mace but was also trying to get out of it. If you're going to be the face of this black excellence, there's some actions that I'm going to challenge you to make. It's a lot of things out here that you can make right with a lot of people who contributed to your wealth, he said at the time. Aside from DMX and Mace, 50 Cent is another industry giant who has publicly and consistently accused Diddy of not only exploiting his artists financially but also sexually. The one that hurt Uncle Fifth the most has to be the mistreatment of Biggie, a man he holds in high regard. Puffy is like a bitch. He always wants to be the hot bitch in the group, 50 explained. He wants to make sure he gets all the attention. I don't know who he was talking about because he didn't say my name. We used to kick it and talk on the phone even after the Mace And talking of Mace 50 Cent earlier said that Mace's 2005 move to G-Unit Records fizzled because Diddy wanted $2 million to let the Harlem rapper out of his Bad Boy deal. 50 was only willing to pay $1 million. Mace received a one-year release from the contract in 2009 after the rapper crashed Diddy's interview with Atlanta's B103. Mace had his contract in hand and got Diddy to sign it on camera. After leaving the label for good in 2012, he's now applying that same public pressure to get his publishing back. I offered you $2 million in cash just a few days ago to sell me back my publishing, he said on Instagram. Your response was, if I can match what the European guy offer him, that would be the only way I can get it back. The rapper said, Mace is one of many rappers who rued their Bad Boy experience. Biggie, as his mother says, was then too young to realize Diddy was only out to manipulate and use him. The Lox trio of Jadakiss, Styles P, and Chic Loud started a Free the Lox campaign in 1999, vying to be released from their Bad Boy contract. The group felt Diddy preferred Billboard Top 40 appeasing singles, and glossy videos replete with shiny suits didn't fit their image. They wanted to sign with the more rugged Rough Riders label, which was based in their native Yonkers and where DMX was signed. Diddy eventually let them out of their deal, but he kept a lingering hold on them by retaining half of their music publishing. Whoever controls an artist's publishing earns money when their music is used in movies, television, video games, and other commercial entities. That remaining gripe led to a contentious 2005 argument on New York's Hot 97, where Styles told Diddy, "We made one record with you, money, power, and respect. It's 10 years later, and you still got half of our publishing. You can't make it justifiable that you deserve half of our publishing." He also alleged, "You had a bunch of artists whose careers never went right with you." So, yeah, without shading it, Diddy is the devil that he is, a sexual predator and financial swindler. All those artists cannot make up these stories, can they? And that's all from us today. Until next time, bye.